This is Julia's lovely flat, so thank you for having me.
No, it's a pleasure.
So last time we talked about somatic yoga and how it really helped to help your clients to be interwoven with your traditional back pain practice.
Hmm.
And I know that you also studied yoga therapy, which is like another level in the yoga world. So if you want to tell us a little bit about that, I'll be really, really honored.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yoga therapy. I mean, I think every yoga therapist would define yoga therapy in a different way. But it really, for me, it takes the vast array of tools of yoga, of all the different practices, and really meets a person where they are with those tools to support them in their journey in life. And they might be working with chronic pain or mental health issues or all manner of things they could bring to yoga therapy. And it's like, how can we work to help you support yourself and with the yoga practices. So for me, that's what yoga therapy is. It might be different for different people,
Sure.
but for me, that's the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's your sort of a next step. You sort of introduce it to your sort of is it kind of a bit of a different clientele in a way? Is it a different?
Yeah. Yeah, because people who come to yoga, it's like a weekly class or a weekly session, and it's just part of their routine and supports them for sure and helps their health, of course. But this is a bit more of a deep dive. So it might be appropriate for a particular time in a person's life where they're struggling with a certain thing in their life.
Right.
It may be a relationship thing, it may be a pain thing, it may be a addiction, it could be
Right.
so many
So
different
varied.
things.
Yeah.
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 So something that you're facing in life that you could do with a little support with. And
Yeah.
yoga therapy really kind of brings in all this wealth of the tools of yoga, because when we go to a yoga class, we do the asana practice, and we do maybe a bit of breath, maybe we might, if we're very lucky, do a bit of meditative practice or a bit of relaxation. But there's so much more than that in yoga. So it enables a really, like, for me to use all those tools, and it's very, very satisfying. I'm only just starting on my journey with it.
Well, good luck with that. I mean, it's a very holistic
It is.
approach, and it's yeah. I'm sure it's going to be extremely helpful to people and their lives.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're doing for our case studies, our cohort at the Minded Yoga Therapy Institute. We're really lucky to have one of our women on the course is a GP, and she's organised for GPs in her practice and surrounding practices to refer clients to be seen by the people on our course.
Oh wow.
So
That's huge. I think just this, like me being an Ayurvedic practitioner, by one of my trainings, it's so nice to see that it's becoming mainstream and it's being introduced in these scenarios, like Reiki. It's been introduced in A&E, and it's just beautiful that it's finally connecting,
yeah,
and it's so beneficial for both sides. That's the whole
absolutely.
aim, isn't it? Just to
Yeah,
just to give the client or patient the best experience possible, or the
yeah,
best care and support. So
yeah.
that's
It's
exciting.
really exciting. And it's been really amazing to teach these clients that have come from GPs and to see how much positive benefit it can bring to someone who's seeking help in that way is really amazing. Yeah, yeah, it's really good.
Now there's one more thing that is in the pipeline. I've heard from the fairies, and
Yeah.
that's about a charity. I've think.
Yeah, so very, very, like, I'm only just starting to finish my case studies for the yoga therapy.
Yeah.
But what I'm realizing is that I want to be able to offer yoga therapy to a much wider range of people, particularly people who can't afford it.
Yeah.
And at the moment, that's very difficult because obviously I've gone through a lot of training. The training was very costly, and you know, yoga therapists are trained to a really high level, and so it's the same amount of money that you would to see an ordinary therapist, like a counsellor or a psychotherapist, and that's unaffordable for a lot of people, especially on a weekly basis. And it does need that sort of weekly basis. And also running courses. So my idea was, and a dear friend actually sort of nudged me into it. She's an old school friend of mine. She came to a yoga class. And she was like, Julia, this stuff is too good. You have to share it with more people. I'm going to help you.
Little nudge.
Yeah. And she's a legally trained, so she understands all the process of what you have to do to set up a charity, and she's going to help me. So that's the next project. It is a long-term project, though. There's so much work, and I'm a Capricorn, so I'm a goat that goes slowly up the hill.
Yes.
So slowly up the hill I will go.
Slowly but steadily, you know,
And
bit by bit. But that's amazing that you can do that, and it can really, spread much further. You know, with offering that to people who really need it and really can't afford it at the moment, because it's becoming really hard for both sides, the therapists who want to help and the clients who cannot afford it sometimes. So
I mean, if you think about it, chronic pain and chronic fatigue, you can't work, you know?
No, exactly.
So it's like,
It's
how are you going to
cycle.
afford, the right care? So it's really important, and I'm really looking forward to bringing that through. It'll be a few years, but it will happen.
So next time I see you, and maybe we'll do an interview on that, you can tell me a little bit more about it when it's actually, happening.
Definitely.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be really good.
Yeah. I did want to touch just a little bit at the end on the whole theme that these interviews are about, and that is about what each ancient tradition really brings to today's world, and how we can really learn from something that is so ancient and old and so wise, and to work with it now when we really need it again. And I felt, my Ayurvedic background and yogic is, comes from the beautiful traditional Indian tradition, which is just, I love it. I'm very connected with that, and I cherish it. And I wonder if there's anything you would like to, if you'd like to touch on that at all. What is the sort of essence that we can bring today to today's world, when we, have so many turmoil, so many challenges? I just feel there is something that these old traditions can really teach us now.
Absolutely, yeah. The essence of yoga is not it's so much based on the physical body in our culture, but the essence of yoga is really the philosophy and the understanding, the world view of yoga, the understanding of who we are, and what constitutes our being. And that really is what yoga therapy is all about, is exploring these aspects of our being, which is, there are 5 layers. So the physical layer, the breath layer, the mental layer, our mundane thoughts, and then our more kind of higher thoughts, our more caring thoughts, our more connected thoughts, our more philosophical and wise thoughts, and then the bliss body. So all of that are aspects of our being, but we're not any of those things. We're not our physical body or our thoughts or even our beliefs or even that state of bliss. We're not that. We're something beyond that. So consciousness is basically our essential nature. And it is such a hard thing to describe, consciousness. And that really is, yoga really articulates it very, very well, in that if you can describe it, then it's not consciousness. So all those things about how we feel, what's going on with our body, what our mind is doing, we can describe it. They have qualities. But our essential nature is pure and undescribable. And it's also, it's unified with everybody's essential nature and with the essential nature of everything, every living being, every plant, every stream, every particle also has this consciousness.
Yes.
And that understanding, which is shared with most indigenous, I would say.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that understanding that everything is consciousness and everything is unified is really what yoga is all about.
Yes, and that's what people, I think, need to return to, understanding, and also that's what everyone is looking for in a way. Although they don't maybe realize it on a conscious level, but it's the seeking of that you're looking for, and how the chaos is at the moment even more so that I feel that way. It's a bit of a where we are at as a planet. It feels like the chaos is taking us away from it even further, whilst we even further seeking to find it. So it's a bit of a paradox.
Definitely. I think the more that the chaos takes us away, the more we have to seek
wanna,
it. Yes. I think that's what you were saying. So it kind of drives us in a way. And I think for some crazy reason, this is happening to us at this time to bring us into a more connected state. Because the more disconnection we see around us, the more pain we feel within, the more we have to find a different way. We're driven to find a different way.
We crave it more so than ever, don't we? The connection, and especially after COVID, people did realize the communities, the essence and the connections, and hence then the connection within you with everything else, not just your community, but the tree, the stone, the planets, and you know, anything you can possibly think of. Oh, that's such a lovely summary of what the sort of yogic philosophy is about. It needs to be accessible so people can grasp it and keep it simple in a way, so we can benefit from it. Otherwise, it will become this concept that no one can, understand or grasp and use.
It's true. I love the original teachings. They really, really, they make me feel so safe, actually. A sense of really being held and being part of this universe, and an understanding that things happen for a reason, that all this craziness can have some sense to it, is what the yoga teachings have offered me. It's very difficult to put such a vast, amazing knowledge into words, really, that English words, not Sanskrit words. Sanskrit has a particular way of describing everything that is so precise and so
more accurate, more refined.
Yes,
yes.
refined.
I mean, English in some ways is a very simple language compared to Sanskrit. That's got so many more sounds in its alphabet and so forth. So that's for someone else to explain that probably for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm no Sanskrit scholar or even a yoga philosophy expert, but it's that finding the things that speak to us, simple ways of just connecting with that essential nature of reality, and it's our future. And even science is coming round to the idea that everything is conscious, because they can't explain things in any other way. No, they can't explain the phenomena.
It becomes a dead end once they go to a certain way, and it becomes a dead end. They know that there's somewhere else they need to be looking at.
And it's coming out of the mind and into the body of the universe, and the understanding that the body of the universe is conscious as well as us. We're not the only ones.
No.
And that shifts everything. Is how, like you were saying, how much now then we have this understanding. We have to honour everything.
I just love that all these indigenous cultures getting so much attention now, and yoga, of course, with Ayurveda and the sort of yogic philosophy as well, is part of the whole picture, and we will. I feel like we will really genuinely benefit from it so greatly, that people rediscovering it in a more sort of a deep sense, that we are ready to go dive deeper.
Yes, absolutely. And you see it, it's happening. It's really exciting. And it's good.
Awesome. Well, I thank you so much for today, and I know we will see each other again because we always do. And we'll talk more about any other projects that you have coming, and if anyone would like to explore Julia's practice or website, I will put all the links below so you can find her on her website, and also she does a beautiful blog on Substack. Is that right?
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you,
And
Ellie.
yeah, pleasure. And we can even mention your partner who does sound healing. If he wants to put a link down there as well, that would be lovely.
Okay.
And yeah, it's such an honor, and it's just so lovely to see you after so long, and talking all these things that we planned.
Lovely to see you too, Ollie.
Lovely to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.